call this regular council meeting of the Village of Graham Ann to order. It's 7:35 p.m. and for prayer this evening we have Councillor Jane Turner.
Dear Lord, we just pray tonight that you would give guidance and direction and wisdom on the decisions that are made here for the benefit of our community. And we just pray your protection over those who live here, and we thank you for the opportunity to live on such a beautiful island, and we just pray that things will work together for the good of the residents and just the well-being of our community. Amen.
Thank you. So this is our last council meeting of this group, which maybe we might talk about a little bit at the end, but before we get started in my opening remarks, I do want to just acknowledge the passing of Acting Mayor Kate Akagi from the town of St. Andrews a couple of weeks ago. It certainly was a shock to lose her so unexpectedly. We have sent condolences over to the town just so everybody is aware, but I think it's important that we acknowledge that it certainly is a loss for her family, friends, and for that community as a whole. So her service is tomorrow, and certainly we'll be thinking about them going forward. I don't have a lot for opening remarks other than to say that some of you know that there was a group of exchange students here last week. Our kids had gone out to just outside Ottawa a few weeks ago. And so over the weekend, I got an email from one of the teachers on the exchange trip that I just wanted to share with the group because I thought it was kind of a cool thing. She said, "Good morning, Bonnie. I am writing to share my absolute highest praise for GMCS and their lead teacher and Experiences Canada group leader, Drew Heyman, who recently hosted our West Carleton SS group of high school students during our exchange in Graham Ann this past week. Simply put, Drew is the gold standard for going above and beyond, hosting in all things Graham Ann. From the moment we started communicating last spring about twinning to when we arrived in Graham Ann this past week, his level of care and professionalism was unmatched. Navigating a group of teenagers in a new environment can be complex, but the GMCS group made it look seamless through their warm welcome. They created an immediate sense of belonging, easing the students' nerves and making them feel at home instantly. Meticulous organization, every detail from daily schedules to logistical pivots was handled with incredible foresight and clarity, and attentive support. They were constantly tuned into the group's needs, ensuring every student felt seen, safe, and supported throughout the exchange. It is rare to find a community host who balances the work of an exchange with such a genuine heart and hospitality. They didn't just provide a place to stay for our group from Ottawa, they provided a transformational experience for our big city kids. Just a quick little note to say what an amazing village you have and how welcoming each and every person we met on the island in Whitehead was. This largely is in part because of Drew's influence on the importance of exchanges and his exceptional hosting. And so I asked if I could share this publicly with her, and she said, yes, please do. And while you're at it, a special mention to Darla and Wade Ingalls and Andrew and Tara for hosting 3+ students at their houses. There were some very special people in Graham Ann. Thanks for giving them a bit of a spotlight. Anyway, it's always nice when you hear good things about people in the community, and I thought that was worth sharing. So it's good to hear they had a good trip. And I'm looking at Dan and Chris, who are kind of nodding.
We had a different experience. Having kids
that were actually in it, but no, it was fantastic. Wade and Darla did a fantastic job. They had 4 Ottawa kids and 4 local kids all stayed at their house, and all of our kids went down there as well.
Yeah, almost every night. Yeah.
So their grub bill for that week was
Yeah, it was easy for us. You're going girls? Yep, no problem. Yeah.
All right, so I think that was it for opening remarks. Is there any disclosure of conflict of interest? Hearing none, we have adoption of the minutes of the regular council meeting of April 13th, 2026, and those were in the package.
Madam Mayor, just for clarification, but it's under new business. It says opens up with UMNB optometry program, but then it goes on and says UNB optometry program. So I just want to make note of the correction. With that being said, Madam Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections as noted.
You heard the motion from Councillor Sturgeon. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Second by Deputy Mayor Greenlaw. Question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Motion carried. For additions to the agenda, we have the home hardware bill to pay from the general operating fund, and that amount is $2,001.23, 200123.
Closed session,
Okay.
hangar lease update.
And under closed session 18.4, we have a hangar, I think it's illegal, with a update on the hangar lease. Any other additions? Hearing none.
I would move to accept the additions to the agenda.
I knew you were waiting to do that. Heard the motion from Councillor Boyd. Do we have a seconder?
I will second that.
Seconded by Councillor Toll. Question? All those in favor? Contrary-minded? Motion carried. Yeah, don't have anyone from the RCMP. Takes us down to the 10-minute open session. Seeing no one jumping up, we have for item number 11, vending machines at the community center, and James Dool is here to speak. If you just want to step up to the podium so the microphone will pick you up for our tens of viewers on YouTube, that would be great. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for your time and having me. My name is James Dowell. I'm the owner of New Branch Property Solutions. So my proposal to the committee is a pilot program for smart vending at Graham and Community Center. It will be a 6 to 12-month pilot program to judge the accuracy of whether this machine or service will help and be fundable towards this facility. So we are fully responsible for all costs of the machines and services. There's no day-to-day servicing that anyone would have to do. I'm responsible for everything, such as stocking the machine, liability, servicing, maintenance, all that. The reason I think that it would be valuable to this location is just the lack of convenience on our island. So with these machines, we're not regulated to Pepsi, Coca-Cola, any kind of products like that, such as Brandon. We can offer a much more healthier lifestyle options in our machines, so we can completely customize them to how the council or the community center sees fit, or what product pushes the best. But like I said, it's more for healthier options. That's what I'm trying to push for. Just being that most vending machines, they're restricted on sugar-loaded items that are not healthy. So the pilot program, like I said, would go from 6 to 12 months before a true commitment is made upon council, just so that we can get projections to see if this is something that will work in this facility. If there are any other questions that council would like to ask, I am free and available to answer.
Thank you. And everybody has your handout is in their packages as well, so they have
Yes.
a chance to review.
And if there's anything else, I can provide it as
Sure.
needed.
Question?
So James, just to clarify, so James came in a few weeks ago and ran this by me, which I thought was a great idea. We've currently got 2 other vending machines in the facility, but one in the arena and one just outside the door into the fitness center. This is probably something that really didn't need to go towards council, but I thought it'd be a great opportunity for James, who's a new business owner, to come in, present, field some questions, get a better feel for what it's like to speak in front of a crowd. But what caught my attention was, is these aren't a typical vending machine.
No,
Where
they're
you
cash.
stick your money in, you click C7, your pop falls out, the actual door opens, and you're able to take out
Yes,
whatever you want.
so explain more to what Chris is mentioning now. These machines, they're more like a mini mart. So think of your own refrigerator or your own cupboards. The moment that you tap the access pad with your card or your phone, as these are digital cashless payment machines, that door unlocks. You're now able to select whatever items you want. So rather than being regulated to one item or restriction to one item at a time, you can grab 4 or 5, however many items you'd like at a time. And the moment the door closes, It's all censored by weight and cameras, so it knows exactly what you've taken. Say if you take something and you don't really want it, well, before you close that door, if you put it back, it's not charging you for it. The moment the door closes, that's when the confirmation of payment is taken.
So no more standing,
So no more-
praying
yes,
that your
there's
bag
no
of
more-
chips comes all the way down.
Yeah, so it adds that convenience of no more lines and, you know, waiting and you're standing there, oh, well, I gotta pop in a couple more quarters because I want that chocolate bar too, so it adds the convenience, and the accessibility to the machines are a little bit more free.
And to be able to tailor it to what our needs are, that you're not.
Exactly.
You don't have, today's society seems like it's all about energy drinks. And with this machine, with having the Boys and Girls Club in the same building, to be able to provide cheese and crackers, granola bars, those kind of things for the kids, it's just, not everyone gets a lunch, a snack provided. So to be able to go in there and grab something like that would be.
Absolutely, and I would be more than comfortable to come in beforehand, before putting the machine in place, to get kind of a feel of varieties of things that we could offer in the machine, so that way I'd know what to stock the machine with or what would be wanted upon this facility.
Councillor Green?
So for your trial period, how many machines were you thinking? Were you thinking of putting them?
I was thinking about just a single machine, that way the fund and bill isn't too large at first, just to get a feeler. So it'll be a split unit machine at first, so we'll have drinks on top, snacks on bottom. If it proceeds that it's beneficial to the community center, I will look at investing into a secondary machine so that it will be a drink only and a snack only machine within the facility. For location wise, it's really up to council. I think near a main entrance would be best, possibly the fitness center entrance or this entrance here to my right.
I'm just thinking for the summer, if it's in with the VIC down at that door, you've got I'm guessing it would do a big.
Well, yes,
a
but I
decent
think the
business
fitness
anyway.
center brings in quite a bit of traffic to the community center. Also, that it's viable entrance right to the rec area.
Yeah.
So,
And the arena's closed from April through to November, so.
it wouldn't be a very good location to have it in there. Mind you, though, if things slow down within this range of the facility, we're always able to move that down the hall if council approves.
Anyone else? Thoughts, questions? Councillor Boyd?
So I guess, like, what are you looking for? I mean, I think it's great, but what are you looking for specifically for us? Because I know you mentioned, like, it really didn't need to come, because I certainly, yeah, I mean, you want to wheel it in, set it up, I'm all for it. So whatever you need from us.
The only thing I need from council is an approval on placement and an agreement that you're all fit with the pilot program.
I'm certain, I don't know if we need to make a motion for it, or we just leave it in staff's hands to set it up and work with James and bring it in.
Maybe that's the motion, is to direct staff to.
All right, I will make that motion, that we direct staff to work with James and New Branch Solutions to set up this pilot program and put the vending machine where you see fit.
Heard the motion from Councillor Boyd. Do we have a seconder?
I will second that.
Seconded by Councillor Toll. Question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good.
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay. That takes us down to new business. Planning Advisory Committee, a request for council to direct SNBSC staff to begin subdivision bylaw review and drafting. Councillor Toll to discuss.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. PAC has been dealing with several cases for public purposes in the past 2 or 3 years. We've had lots of arguing and trying to figure out exactly how everything goes and how it's supposed to be going. And we are convinced that the LFPP, Land for Public Purpose, section of the bylaw is problematic and needs to be changed. We met to discuss it as a group, PAC, and we came up with a consensus to send to Kara, the chair of Bylaw Committee, and to Alex Henderson from the Southwest New Brunswick RSC to go over this. we were a bit surprised to hear that we can't make changes in this bylaw. Alex has informed us that the RSC is the only one who must do it. Council has to request them to do it, and once the request is made and the bylaw is redrafted, the draft would go to our bylaw committee for review. It would make no sense to us to have the LFPP or 6% apply to smaller subdivisions. So I'm looking to make a motion that council requests the RSC to update bylaw 2-95 in consultation with the PAC. We will have our input and we will be working together to present it. So that is my ask.
Questions or comments? Councillor Turner?
I noticed that, and I don't know if it needs to be in there or not, so this is just a question. We don't have the option to waive the land for public purpose or the payment. And I think there could be instances where we want to be supportive of a particular subdivision if it's like, you know, for public housing or something.
Councillor Green?
I believe Councillor Opposite made a motion, so we should have a seconder before we get too deep in the debate.
Sure.
I mean, not,
Yeah.
yeah, procedural.
Yep. So we have a motion on the floor. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Greenlaw. So now question. Okay. All right.
I can repeat it if you want.
That's good. But I think it's a good recommendation for the RSC for their drafting.
Yeah, because Alex mentioned that he said you can't, what you can do is make the percentage to 0. Like you still have to say we have this, but you can make the percentage 0 if there is, you know, it's just, if you don't have it, then, you know, there may be something that you really don't want to take a portion of money or you don't see any use for land for public purpose. So I think it would be good to have the option.
Councillor Green, did you have?
Just wondering if there are other aspects of this bylaw other than land for public purpose that have been problematic that we should be pointing out that we want them to focus on when they're doing the review.
Well, the PAC will also be involved in the whole part of it, and there's several concerns because of subdivisions that are being divided that are really small lots of land, like 1-2 acres at the most, and if they have no access to public roads or no real value for the council to have them or to get that money, then we want to be able to make that choice ourselves. Like, we need to figure out what the amount of land should be before there's even that option. And there's always variables that can happen, and everyone is separate and different, and we just need a better description of what we're allowed to do. And we've worked really well with Alex, so it's been a really good partnership. So.
Any other questions or comments, Councillor Sturgeon?
So from what I gather here, Councillor Toll, this would simplify things for most transactions. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried. 14.2 is a request that we received, which was in your package, for the Seal Cove Artist Residency. They're looking for a letter of support. The Seal Cove Artist Residency is a nonprofit artist residency recently established here on Graham and Ann. It's based near Seal Cove Beach and focuses on site-responsive work connected to the island's landscape, marine history, and community. It is currently in development with initial support from the Canada Council for Arts. They are in the process of building funding applications and partnerships, and a brief letter from the village would help reinforce the project's connection to the local community. For your convenience, I've attached a short draft letter that you're welcome to use or adapt as needed. I'd be happy to meet in person or by phone to share more if that's helpful. So that, I believe, is in the package as well. Any questions or comments? Councillor Turner?
getting my last meeting comments in here. Do we have anything like that shows if, like, what type of organization they are, if they have a constitution or anything like that? I think it would be beneficial to have a little more information. I'm all for supporting this as it's stated, but I think it would be nice to know, you know, the form of the organization and if there are, like, all the proper documents and such.
Anyone else? So, the wishes of the group, I can reach out and ask about the status of the organization, and then it can be to the June meeting for a final decision, is that?
Yes.
Okay, Councillor Green?
It states that it's a non-profit organization. I wonder if they're a registered non-profit organization or if it's just a loose definition they're using there, I guess.
Okay, so we'll follow up and see what other information we can find, just to make sure we know what we're supporting, and then go from there. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. 14.3 is Department of Natural Resources gifting agreement for the Grand Manan Fire Department to accept firefighting equipment. Essentially, they have a pump, which I'm going to zoom in so I can read what kind of pump it is. A Wajax and some hose and some other, it's a Wajax Mark III portable high-pressure fire pump kit. It includes the pump, 20 lengths of discharge hose, tools, and accessories. And that's from the Wildfire Management branch of DNR that they are gifting to the village. So, Fire chief was in last week and we talked about it. He seemed quite happy with that. Said they were trying to get two, so that's one down. So that's really more of an information thing, unless anybody has any questions or concerns with accepting a free pump and some hose. But free pump always seems like a good thing, so yeah. Yeah. So that was a good newsletter we got a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I think we've got a second one as well, because last fall during the wildfire scare, I had reached out because there was also a program that came through the fire marshal's office through, it's called Global Medic. And I applied, and we also received, which we haven't taken ownership yet of, a portable skid. It comes with a 1,000-liter tank, pump and hose, all on a skid that you can take on and off the back of a 3/4 ton truck. So I think that's our two that the chief was hoping for.
If somebody else has a third, we probably aren't gonna turn it down, just saying, but we at least got two. Okay, moving along, 14.4 is an application for donation, Bagley Boys Racing, and that's in the package as well. Thoughts, comments, or questions? I'm trying to zoom in because I am.
Have they filled out our donation request form? I don't see it in here.
They came in and picked it up, but I didn't see it come back.
Right. All right, well then I would move that we push it to the next meeting that it comes back.
You heard the motion from Councillor Boyd. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councillor Toll. Question?
I certainly do support it, and I think it's always been our, you know, we pay so the kids can play sort of thing, but just make sure, yeah, just as long as we get the official form filled out, and I certainly have no problem with it.
For example, Madam Mayor, you know, we're allowed to give up to $500, for example, which is silver level program here, and there's also a bronze level, so it'd be nice to know what they're
Well,
hoping for.
I think that is all about the public, like, we gave them $1,000 when they first started, so they have our banner up there. So businesses, maybe they should be advertising this as well somewhere, so that people see it.
It would be nice for me, the silver level, because we can do that, you know, and also it's advertising the island everywhere they go, right? So that would be good.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor? Contraminded? Motion carried. 14.5, Chief Administrative Officer, end of term update of council's ongoing projects.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To take a little bit of a walk down memory lane, but seeing how this is the last meeting for some, this has got to be one of the most aggressive councils that's ever sat around this table. 5 years ago, there was 3 office staff and a recreation director. Now we currently have 16 employees. We've taken over operation of our transfer station. We've taken over operation from DTI with the summer and winter maintenance of our roads. We bought a new fire truck. We did a resurface of the entire airport. We did the rural plan twice.
So much fun the first time.
Just to make sure.
Built a hangar and redone all of Swallowtail. So just to finalize on a few things that we've got left on the table, one being the airport extension. We've had the approval from government with the funds for, I think, 3 years now to do the resurfacing. But we've been caught in an environmental impact assessment. And it was just today I received some notification from the province. So when you register the EIA, it all goes online into a portal. And everyone has an opportunity to comment about the registration. So when the EIA is registered, you've got 45 days to be able to comment on that. So in 45 days, we had 62 different organizations commented on our EIA with suggestions of changes.
Wow.
So we have been working with the engineers and the consultants and answered all 62 questions. Today, we heard back from all 62, and we still have 20 looking for more information. Now, this is information that could be logistics with engineering on drainage. It could be environmentalists worried about the wood turtles. It could be, one of the comments was they feel we need to do an archaeological survey of the property. So this is the things that keep delaying and delaying, but hopefully once we get through all this, we'll be able to get to the bottom and potentially look at early fall start, because it's about a 12-week, they're hoping, turnaround time to put that extra extension on there, because we're getting into the season with fog. We're getting into the summer season where heat is a factor. As we've all heard, these planes, the efficiency of the plane landing and taking off in temperatures over a certain degree affects their takeoff and landing abilities. So this isn't something that is a wish list. This is a need. This is a necessity. So hopefully we can get through with that. The current rural plan, I spoke with Alex today at the Service Commission, and we've got some copies, some fresh off the press copies coming our way to be able to hand out after the election's over to council. But it is currently our active plan. It's been signed off by the minister and registered as well. After with Swallowtail, we're still waiting to hear back from SKS on exactly what they're doing. We've had a few communications with their bookkeeper. They were supposed to hold a meeting in the last couple of weeks to decide what they're doing. Everything that we're hearing tells us that they're going to operate business as usual. They've got the gift shop open. They've got some summer students that they're looking to do to operate that this summer. Long term, we're not quite sure, but anyway, we're waiting to hear back from them to hopefully possibly have a meeting between SKS and council. One of the other things that we've been dealing with is the DAUP. We've currently got 2 DAUP files that we're working on. We can't talk about that specifically, but we're trying to find, when it comes to DAUP, in going on people's properties, it's a very touchy subject, especially some of the properties that we're dealing with. So we're trying to work with some organizations off island to be able to come in, clean up, and then they go back off island again, kind of thing where they don't live here and work here. So once we get that, it'll cost a little bit more to have that service provided, but at the end of the day, if the property owner does not pay for the cleanup of the property, we turn around and send that bill to the province. It's applied to the property tax. We apply to the Treasury Board, and they'll give us our money back. We talked about some IT service. As the village has grown, one of the things that we've been struggling with the most is kind of IT. One of the last council meetings, we had some proposals from 2 or 3 different organizations from off island. After some staff review, a lot of those off-island IT programs all want to service remotely. It didn't give us any opportunity to have someone come in one-on-one and talk to the staff here at the village or do work for us. So we thought that we would look at that again, put that out to see if there's any local organizations that might be able to provide that service for us, or reach out to island businesses that may have services that are being currently provided, maybe twin with them and be able to tack on that as well. So that's pretty much it for my list. I think I've caught everything except for one thing we're going to talk about in closed session, but it's been a pleasure. You guys have been exhausting, to say the least, but anyway, it's been fantastic to watch the village grow in the services that we've taken on, be able to control and have a lot better handle on when it comes to price, budgets, restraints, and things like that. So it's been a pleasure.
Councillor Green?
You mentioned about the airport extension or whatever being about a 3-year, been approved for the last 3 years. When does that money die if we don't use it?
There's no risk yet. I keep asking that question with the province because with that bilateral agreement between the feds and the province administers the funds. So I am in constant communication with the director about if at any point we're getting closer to at risk of losing those funds. But as of now, where we're stuck in this EIA, there's no risk at all. If it was just us twiddling our thumbs, it'd be different. But it's just taken so long to get through all these hoops.
Any other questions or comments? I do think we need to say a huge thank you to our staff because while we're the front faces of it, I think we all recognize that the legwork was done by the people sitting on either side of me for the most part. So we wouldn't have gotten through that list without them. And I know we were all reflecting a little bit before we started on the days of COVID when we did start, but it really does feel 5 years doesn't seem like very long, but it does seem like a long time ago when we started out. So it's been good.
So just for perspective, we're somewhere in the ballparks of $18 million in the last 5 years of money, infrastructure money. And a lot of that under this new program was only 7% responsibility for the municipality. So it's been a huge investment.
Anything else on that one? All right, well, we can move on to approval to pay invoices. 17-1 out of the general operating fund. We have Go-Go Group Inc. for summer camp, $15,464.25. And that's, we pay that up front for Go-Go Gymnastics, and then the registrations we receive to cover that off. LSW Wear Parts Inc. for plow blades for $1,897.50. McGinnis Cooper for legal, $1,617.71. Universal Truck and Trailer for the transfer station trailer for $60,082.87, and Home Hardware for $2,001.23.
I make a motion that we pay those from the general operating fund.
You heard the motion from Deputy Mayor Greenlaw. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Boyd. Question?
The transfer station trailer, is that back in business and working well and all good?
Yeah, that was the repair to the 98, the aluminum trailer that we had to redo the frame in. And when I reached out to Universal and asked them for a quote, they basically said that it can't be fixed. They come back and said, leave it with us, we'll see what we can do. They came out with a quote of $55,000 and said, we could be way off, we could be way over, way under, we just don't know. So the fact that they came that close was good. And for those that remember, this is down under one of the projects for our new
Capital Renewal Fund?
capital renewal fund projects, so.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. 17.2 from the General Capital Fund for Brunswick Engineering for the airport extension, $8,982.65.
I'll make a motion that we pay that from the general capital fund.
Heard the motion from Deputy Mayor Greenlaw. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councillor Toll. Question? All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. 18 is closed session. We have 4 items. First one is illegal for the DTI long-term agreement. 18.2 is financial mowing tenders. 18.3 is legal, a dog file. 18.4 is legal for the hangar lease.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion that we go to closed session for those pre-read items.
Heard the motion from Councillor Sturgeon. Do we have a seconder? Sure. Seconded by Councillor Green. All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. You meeting back to order. It's 8:35. We are in closed session for 4 items. The first was the legal for the DTI long-term agreement.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the DTI long-term agreement.
Heard the motion from Councillor Sturgeon. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Turner. Question? All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. 18.2 financial mowing tenders.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the combined lowest bids for the mowing tenders.
You heard the motion from Councillor Sturgeon. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Boyd. Question? All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. 18.3 was legal, a dog file, and that was an update for the group and no action required. 18.4 was legal for the hangar lease update.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion that we accept the hangar agreement, the lease agreement, barring there's nothing flagged from our legal department.
Heard the motion from Councillor Sturgeon. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Greenlaw. Question? All those in favor? Contrary minded? Motion carried. So, being that this is our last meeting of this group, I did want to give both Jane and Dan an opportunity to say anything if they wanted to. Apparently I've really choked Dan up about that, so I didn't know, I know it's, Jane, you've been on council for as long as I have, and Dan, you've been here for 5 years, and it's been a time, and since you're not reoffering, I just wanted to give you that opportunity, if either of you wanted to. And if you don't, you don't have to, so.
I just want to say that it was a tough decision, and I will miss being here, but those of you who are reoffering, which is most of you, I'm glad to see, you have my deepest respect and my very best wishes.
and those who are hoping to come on board and have put their names forth. I hope they come on knowing that they're going to be part of a team that has done a lot in the last 5 years and some longer. If I have to sit back and watch for a while, then I hope I watch 4 years of some really big achievements and some really significant successes for the community, and that's exactly what I'll be expecting to see.
Thanks, Jane. Dan?
Yeah, I'd echo a lot of what Jane said. It was a tough decision. As you guys all know, I split my time between here and Newfoundland. And so being gone half the year, I just didn't feel, especially with how my career's arcing over there, I didn't really have the time to commit to give this job the time it deserves. And it does deserve a lot of time. I don't think people, I know people don't realize, everybody here does, but I know most of the people outside that only see this video once a month, this is pretty much a full-time job if you want to be prepared. And that's the long and the short of it. When you do your work, you do your committee meetings, you're talking to constituents, you're doing all this stuff. Like it's a lot of work, and it deserves someone that can give it the full time. And so I made the hard decision to not reoffer. We'll see what 4 years down the road brings. It's not always fun, but this was a great group. Like, thank you guys. It has been an honor and a privilege to sit around this table with all of you. Staff, honestly, I don't know how you guys keep everything going every single day, because we just keep. Chris's hair was brown 5 years ago. And the stuff that you guys keep afloat, that some municipalities have double and triple the amount of staff looking after, I mean, you guys are just commended. It should be commended. And for the rest of you that are reoffering, good luck. I think this, and there's a lot of great names on that ballot, and I think I look forward to, as Jane said, continued growth for our community, and I think the island's going to be in good shape for the next few years anyways.
Thank you both. You want the last word, didn't you? Yep.
Not really. I just have to say it the first time around. Since I'm not asking this for myself, I would ask constituents, residents, whatever, however you want to refer to them, to ask questions. Don't assume that what you've heard is the case, because sitting here, we've seen so many times when things are misconstrued, misunderstood, and the fair thing to do and the thing for you to get the best information is to ask questions. There will be things that you cannot be told, but a lot of it you can, and it's in everyone's best interest to get the right information out there.
Thank you both for that. We have a little something, going away gifts.
Next year's tax bill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the 12-gun salute.
The gold watch.
So with that, the next regular council meeting in the Village of Grand Manan will be here on June 1st at 2026 at 7:30 p.m. That falls within the swearing-in guidelines, I think, doesn't it? We'll have to have a special meeting, or the group will, once we determine that. So with that, thank you very much.